There is often talk of the wage gap between men and women, but not about how it compounds over a lifetime. Because women make less, take more time out of their careers to care for their children, and invest less than men. Even women who successfully save for retirement can find themselves with $1 million less in assets than their male counterparts. That's something one Wall Street titan is on a mission to fix.
The downturn has been historically the steepest and fastest that we've seen.
Sallie Krawcheck has some experience with economic downturns. As the most powerful woman on Wall Street, she had a front row seat to the Great Recession. How does the recession of 2008 differ from today?
This downturn happened so incredibly rapidly. We went from bull market to bear market in literally record time. The other difference with this downturn, it's a she-cession. It's impacting a she-cession. It is impacting women, unfortunately, more than men. The last one, 07-08, was more evenly distributed.
That's because women hold a large share of jobs in leisure, hospitality, and retail, sectors that were hit hard by shutdowns. And making COVID-19's impact on women worse are lost earnings due to the gender wage gap, more than $10,000 per year.
Women make 82 cents to a man's dollar. It's slowly getting better, but to be frank, it's decades away from closing for white women, 100+ years for black women, and 200+ years for Latinx women. So just when you're ready to say that is awful, and I'm so upset about that, well, the gender wealth gap, wealth is how much money we keep. And that gender wealth gap is 32 cents for a man's dollar and just a single-digit number of pennies for black women, moving in the wrong direction.
Krawcheck says closing that wealth gap will take more than bigger paychecks.
There have been two big drivers of wealth in our country, one of which has been real estate, which people of color have been redlined out of, the other of which has been investing. And women and people of color have been kept out from that.
Her solution? Ellevest,
the first investment platform designed for women by women.
Created in 2014, the investment platform's mission is to get more money in the hands of women.
The investment gap. Don't know that one? It's that thing where women aren't getting their fair share because the investment industry and almost all its tools were built for men by men.
We have an investing algorithm, as other digital-first investing platforms do. Ours is the only one that takes into account you're a woman. You might say, why does that matter? I'll tell you why. Because we live longer, because we earn less, because our salaries peak sooner.
And we keep less.
And so, therefore, we keep less.
Helping other women build wealth, an idea that took root early in her career. Certainly the early 80s, working on Wall Street sounds like it was hell.
It was. When I was there, when I was junior, you know, they were just trying to run me out. It wasn't even hidden. There'd be Xerox copies of male genitalia left on my desk.
Really?
As a means of humiliating me, embarrassing me, and trying to force me out.
Still, Krawcheck climbed, becoming the CFO of Citigroup and the head of its wealth management division. She says the reason she was fired in 2008 was because she returned client funds for missold products.
700,000. 90% of traders on the trading floors of Wall Street have been men. 98% of mutual fund dollars have been managed by men. 86% of financial advisors have been men. You know, though, with that lack of diversity, does anyone really think the financial crisis of 07 and 08 would have been worse if there had been more women and more people of color? Nobody does.
No means no. The Ellevest mission became even more pertinent when the Me Too movement gained momentum.
Recognizing the societal gender imbalances, one of the drivers is money. We've received negative messages around money over our whole lives, that we're not good at math or we're not good at investing. Those messages have been harmful even before the pandemic. The #1 source of stress for women, lack of money. The #1 source of stress, the gender money gap, where women have so much less money than men, which means that we women have had fewer degrees of freedom than men.
Still, conversations about money are uncomfortable for many women
although they are more likely than men to be living paycheck to paycheck.
61% of women in a recent survey said they would rather talk about their own death than about money.
This is the shame that we as a society have imposed on women about money. If we put that shame on them so that they're not talking about it, then how do you know what raise to ask for? You don't. How do you know how to invest? You don't.
With tens of millions of people applying for unemployment, Krawcheck decided to pivot.
As we engaged with our Ellevest community, what should we be doing? How can we be helping? And they said to us, we want more from you. Can you help us earn more money at work? Can you help me figure out, do I pay off the credit card debt first or do I build an emergency fund?
A new membership answers those questions by giving access to career and financial advisors and rounds up extra change from charges into a savings account.
Money membership is even impactful for women who don't have a lot of it.
Yeah. We worked to keep the price very approachable, $1 a month at the entry level. This is the price of a portion of a latte a month in order to get the learning, the education, the ability to save more quickly, and eventually to invest early on.
Small steps Krawcheck hopes will help women gain more money and more power.
I'll tell you, while money is women's #1 source of stress, the taking of action, right? The getting that credit card debt paid off, the investing, right? The having a plan for how you pay off the student loan debt, the building of savings is the #1 driver of her confidence in her future. There are always actions you can take wherever you are that can improve where you are financially.
I tell you, there is nothing like getting your business in control. And I want to just make a mention of her Ellevest, the program. The membership fees can range from about $1 to $9 a month for virtual and online advice, but personal coaching is available at an extra cost. But, you know, she's really about starting good habits. So, yeah, $1 for, in the investing membership. But you know what? Establishing the habit of checking, your accounts, all of those things make a big difference.
Such an important story because it is very difficult for women to talk about.
It is. Yeah.